everyone, it's Robin from Robin's Creative Cottage. Today I'm going to share with you a Halloween card from the Happy Hauntings Cricut cartridge. I'm going to use images on page 46, the frame image, also the spiders, which is in the layers, and then on page 54 I'm using the hat and then the layers that go along with that as well. The paper that I'm going to use is, again, I've used this from a previous card, from the Die Cuts with a View Midnight Spell Matte Stack, and also the Glitter Stack. And I also, it does come with black, which is probably one of the main reasons which I bought this matte stack, but I find that I'm using my black so much with Halloween cards that I found, and I'll see if you can see the difference. I found a 12 by 12 piece of glitter cardstock. I'll see if you can see the difference between the two. So I'm using this one on the card that I'm putting together right now. Okay, I have my pieces cut. I've used the orange glitter paper for the frame. This is cut at 4 inches. And then I also cut this, and I will show you how I did this in just a minute. But I cut the hat out at 1 3/4 inch, and then I cut the spiders out, which go along with our frame, but I wanted them to be 1 inch, so I needed to remember to put my Cricut on real dial size. So remember, if you want 1 inch spiders, remember to use the real inch dial size. Interesting enough, when I cut my spiders out, I've got two different shapes here. See if you can see that well enough. They're both actually cut at 1 inch, but I wanted to flip the spider so that I could put it together. But when I flipped the spider, it came out thicker than when I used the non-flip feature. So when I did the flip feature, it's thicker. Non-flip, it wasn't. So I cut out the two spiders. That's how my spiders were cut. I previously cut my frame out at 4 inches, and I just want the centerpiece to be cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut a centerpiece out at 4 1/4, and it's going to make it just a little bit bigger to fit inside here. So 4 1/4, and I want my frame make sure it shows up right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I'm going to stop it. Okay, I stopped it just right when it just cut the center, the inside center piece. Now it's time to assemble. I'm going to go ahead and put my hat together first. When I cut out the hat, it does have a spider hanging in this area, but the spider was so small when I cut it at 1 3/4. The spider was just very tiny, and it was too thin to even stay on the hat. But I have another really cute idea that I'm going to share on how I'm going to get a spider hanging from her hat. Let's go ahead and do our spiders. Glue that up really well. And then what I'm going to do is I have some string, just some white string here that I'm going to use for the spider's web. Get my tweezers out here so I don't get my fingers so glued. 2 spiders on here. And these spiders, again, they were cut out in the flip mode. But one spider I had to turn the paper upside down to cut the second spider so it would be in the right direction. I hope that makes sense. So that the glitter would be on both sides. Okay, here is my dangly spider. If you can see that. And it's got glitter on both sides, hanging from his web. And I'm going to hang this from the hat. Okay, let's get our frame put together. Look how cute that frame is. I love the detail around it. It's so fun. Okay, our hat is going to go right here in the center of our frame. I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle. But what I'm going to do is this is a foam pad that I use for like paper piercing. And I'm going to put it on here. Let's see if I want to put, just want to make sure I can see some of my spiders. Okay, so what I'm going to do is where the string is going to come out from the top of the hat, I'm just going to poke a hole right here. Just make kind of a big hole, and that is where my string is going to go through. And I'm just going to push it through. Okay, just decide how long I want that to hang, and I want it to kind of hang extra long. So that's what it will look like. Okay, so let me turn it over, get the area where I want it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add just a little bit of tape. Just to hold that in place. Okay, now I want to add my hat on here, and I've already got my foam backing that I like to use, and I've got such a narrow area here. I'm going to use a glue dot, and this is a big glue dot. It's kind of a big, maybe about a ½ inch. I'm going to push it with my finger, and I'm just kind of rolling it up, if you can see that. Just rolling it up, and then I'm going to put it right there in that area, and then that's going to keep my string in place. I have my pieces cut that I'm going to use for the background of my hat. My card is going to be a 5 by 5 inch square, so 5-inch square, and I cut it 10 inches this way, 5 inches this way, and scored it 5 and fold it in half. That's going to be my card base. And then I've got a mat that I'm going to put over the top here. This piece is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and this is from the mat stack. This is cut at 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, and that will lay over the top. And then this piece, I wanted to distress the edges, so I have a distressing tool that I'm just going to rub, and it's going to rough up my edges. Now we need to add our spiders on our card. And I've got my glue dots. I have smaller glue dots. They're tiny. That would be perfect for our spiders. We'll just place them randomly. And then I also have, this is some dress-up buttons that I've got. I actually got these a year or two ago on clearance, so I don't know if this style is available anymore, but these are fun to use. I got the spell book, and they have little notches on the back, but I went ahead and just used my pliers and just broke off that notch. And I'll get my glue dots again, and I'm going to do that, roll my glue dot off, because I want a little bit thicker on there. They do stick to you quite a bit. So I'm going to roll it so it's a thick little ball, a gummy ball. This says Book of Spells. That goes great with a witch's hat. And there's our card. Got our dangly spider hanging from our witch's hat. A very fun Halloween card to make. I also made another card doing the same exact style, just using different colors. Now, I'm going to see if I can bring these close enough for you to see. On my two hats, one has the very sparkly glitter paper, and the other is the finer sparkle. If you can see that. I'm not sure if that shows up very well. But these are my two Halloween cards that I made to match each other. Got a cute little froggy down here, which goes really good with my witch's hat too. Perfect witch's brew. Anyway, thanks for visiting. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you'll give it a try. Have a great day. Bye-bye.